So I just like to take a moment to go over something that I said that I would cover, which is to give my interpretation or my understanding or my personal or my personal stance towards two particular types of environments and association with women. And I know that this is quite a difficult topic to go into, and in myself as a person, I'm quite aware in that my internal state is very different from my external state. So my mind is a different place. Though I try to be aware of my thoughts and things of that nature, and not intentionally control them, but to rather guide them and be expressive towards them. And I think that, from my point of view, I definitely take those two environments very differently since they're quite professional. And I tend to understand that, that environment is not that type of place for that type of thing in one sense or another, right? So work is not geared towards that. So that's my general understanding of things. Though I think that with the level of maturity, there comes different levels of how people tend to navigate that thing, right? So that's that. And for me personally, like for my personal experience, I think that those two environments, I look at them very differently in terms of women, because I don't really like, work wise, like I said, I'll probably keep things mentally, internally to myself, the things that I think, but I try to be aware because I myself am a perceiver and observer. And so I have to be cautious in relation to that. But definitely I think that like there's been times where I've been being in a type of environment with varying types of women, right? And me coming from a somewhat constrained environment, depending on where I lived at the time, where the people that were around us were basically just normal British people, right? But then when you go to some of these places, you see these like different types of women, right? Like, and you're like, yeah, that to me, I was like, so sometimes you might say, yeah, that person looks good, or at least from a work perspective, you might say that person looks interesting, right? So that's one way of looking at it. Never tried to actually think in that manner of a sexual nature, I suppose. The only time I think that I probably ever had like thoughts of a specific sexual nature, right, was one time I worked in this office, and every time I come in, right, there was this woman that was just there most of the time. She was always on time and things of that nature, very professional in a degree. But I always imagine myself sitting there, or at least remember myself sitting there, just thinking like I was so whenever I was having like internal issues or whatever the case may be, and just thinking to myself like I would so love to cuddle that person, or like I can cuddle that person for an extended period of time, just like thinking to myself like she would be just so awesome to cuddle, and that would be just only in my own mind. But I'll never be like, oh yeah, well, like, oh, I'd like to fuck that person. Like, I'll never think in that sort of thought process, but I'll think more so like, oh yeah, like I think this person would be very awesome to just like, like I could spend a whole weekend just cuddling and snuggling with this person. But I wouldn't think like oh yeah, then like I would never think that. I might wanna like relationship wise. So sometimes I don't know what the fuck they be spraying, and I'm not gonna comment on that because I don't know enough yet. But then again, at the same time, I'd be like, sometimes there'll be like women, and you'd be like, you think more so of a relationship, but never actually you just personally, I don't think like that, man. Like I don't think like that. Like sometimes I might just look at them and just be like, oh yeah, she looks nice, she looks awesome. Talk to them, be friendly and stuff, but I'll never actually think actively from a sexual perspective, because I never imagined that I can and I tend to put them on a higher pedestal than me, because I look at them as more professionally achieved people who seem to have their life in order, who seem to have their things in order. But sometimes I'll be like, sometimes, some women have like some nice office dress, and you'd be like, like dress wear, and you'd be like, yeah, she looks nice. Or sometimes she might come from an exotic part of Europe, you'd be like, yeah, man, she looks good, Or sometimes, she might have some nice hairstyle, nice swag that's not even completely office wear, but you're like, yeah, she looks awesome. And yeah, that's my stance on it. Never been too weird about it, and if I am weird about it, it's more so like I want to like go on a date, but it's so weird because I wouldn't like do that. But that's pretty much it from my perspective. Definitely can confirm there's definitely been, like I've been like definitely thinking about huggers and snuggling and stuff, or just get it. But dating would be fucking weird as well, fam. To be frankly honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And there's definitely been people that I think like have been really nice. Like I can think of a few people where even I haven't got comfortable enough. Yeah. Now I can think of a few French people. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I would just say T dot G, like I don't know. At least that's my thought on it. Like I'll be like, yeah, there's definitely one or two people. Some offices I was able to walk around a bit, so I got to meet more people around them. And there's definitely people that I think were just like good company, but I never actually thought about like, yeah, this person. So I never actually got like their numbers, and like I wouldn't do that. That's just the scenario. But in terms of me, from my perspective, it's like, so in workplace wise, I've had those thought processes, or think that in my mindset about, an interesting thing I might notice about a person, just based on my environment and things that I do generally, which impact the way that my mind would work. And then in meetups, it's completely opposite. Never, ever, ever been like that. Like I've never, ever thought about that. Like women I meet at meetups, never, ever. Like I see them as friends kind of thing. But I definitely say that I treat the women differently to how I treat the men. So the women get like extra special treatment. Like I'm more friendly with them. I'm more bubbly with them. So they get that extra bit of treatment. I ain't gonna lie. Like I treat them a little bit differently. There's a different approach to it. But it's more so coming from a friendly perspective, just like, trying to get to understand them. But there's definitely people there that I consider decent friends. Or women that I don't know. I've met a few. I only remember less few. I think like, but I never actually thought like, never, ever thought of them like that in that sense. I see them differently, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's my stance on it. Like, I tend to talk to them differently and pay them a different type of attention, but from a different level. Compared to others, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the yeah. So like I see, it's like I've actually met a couple women, but I don't. Nah, it's actually kind of weird. No, it's not actually weird. I think more of women at work in terms of that type of stuff, as opposed to I would think of women at meetups in regards to that type of stuff. And it's not that I'm more respectful or whatever, but like I don't know, it's just different, and I can't really explain it. There's a different type of bond with the meetup women as opposed to the like when I say meetup women, I mean like meetup women that I was with at the meetup that are actively part of the community, or that may be experiencing the community at a particular moment in time. And yeah, and like I think in meetups you probably get a ratio of like 5%, max 10% would be women, and the rest are just guys. So I think that's probably one of the possibly maximum 15%, bro. And that's being generous, fam. And that's not on the normal ones. On the there's somewhere there's a like decent mix of like 40% to like 60% men, where the community is more catered to by a more senior individual who has a better understanding. Some of the Linux communities are like that, where they have a better understanding. They have a better ethos. And I don't think that women don't come to the other stuff, like the other more thingy. I think it's just like more so like, yeah, like I see them as tech bros. And that's the weird bit of it. Like I see them as tech bros or tech whatever, you know. And that's how I approach them. But it's definitely women that they're like, now that I'm sitting down and I'm thinking, like I could probably name one woman at me outside and be like, oh yeah, man, she's pretty cool. But like I wouldn't think of her in that way though. You know, and that's the weird thing. But like when I think about it, I'll be like, her company or knowing her would be interesting, or getting a better understanding of who that person is might be cooler. But like I don't really know, man. I don't really think of it like that personally. And that's just the truth. Yeah, and that's my general ethos around it. But I definitely think that I'll definitely take better approaches. I definitely wish though, like, cause it opens, some of these larger companies just open up the space to so much more. Oh yeah, and then there was Minnie. All right, yeah. But like I didn't want to fuck her though. But like I didn't want to do stuff like that. See, I shouldn't be talking like this, and I don't think anyone will know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying M dot. But again, at the same time, like I wouldn't want to do things, but like I wouldn't think of her in that way. But I think that it'd be so cool, like to, like know her, cause you see what I'm saying. You meet so many diverse characters in workplaces and in larger companies. Almost everybody has a boyfriend. In most instances. But then like you meet these people like vegetarians and you're like, yeah man, I'll probably turn vegetarian for that woman, like on a weekday vegetarian, and I might actually do that. But come weekend, Friday and Saturday, you know, that's all straight up, you know. So that's my understanding of it, you know, and it's more so stemmed from the internal section. You know, it's more so from how I feel inside. And like I think I like that, not independence, but that level of professionalism. I find it attractive in terms of like it seems as though the women have their minds in check. You know, they know what their mind is and they know how to use it, and I value that. The ones that are rational, right? That can think properly, and that have the essence of emotion behind whatever story is that they're carrying within them. But for the meetup ones, man, it's just like, yo, man, like it's just like, what up? You know, it's just like, what's good, what's popping, you know. And that's just my general consensus and my experience regarding that. And I don't think any of them would probably want to be with Mando, you know, because I don't think that I'm like that, you know. But I don't know, you know, I think maybe if I'd have tried harder. No, I'm joking. For when I felt that there was actually the possibility, but I don't think that that's probable. Nor do I actually think like that. Like it's more so like I'll be trying to like become friends with them, because I've been friends with dudes at work, like became good friends, even like hang out after work and stuff. Whereas with women, I'm like, nah, cuz that ain't never happening, fam. Yeah, man ain't trying to, nah, man. It's like, you know, yeah, so that's that, and I don't know what that is, but that's just how I felt about it. You know, yeah, that's my general consensus of it, and my general experience of that. It's just that it opens up such an environment where people actually also have a level of respect for you, even though they wouldn't generally look at you twice in the real world, or at least outside of it. So that's one of the things that I think. Yeah, but yeah, man. That's my understanding. I wish I could cuddle that woman though. You know, I think what men should look for is perfect cuddle material, in my opinion. I won't say who though. But yeah, that's my consensus and my understanding of things regarding that.